happened today. But abbreviated Nate Kilbert, we appreciate him joining us. He had a meeting, of course, tight schedules this time of year with games and other stuff. And Landon Bussie, appreciate Landon Bussie's patience as we have him ready to go. Coach Bussie, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Can't complain.
Yeah, that is definitely true, especially coming off a 1-1 swing. Let's get right into it, Coach. Talk about the week that was with your team, Southern and Rail.
You know, went on the road to Louisiana. Knew it was going to be a tough trip, going against the number one seed and going against the returning champion. So, just going up against those two teams, that's not going to be easy. Of course, every game we expect to win. Unfortunately, we was able to split on the road. So now we got a little makeup work to do.
I give your team a lot of credit, Coach. Saturday's game was terrific, one of the better games of the year. We've had some really good games in the conference here the last few weeks. We had a triple overtime game. Of course, our games have been close. Florida A&M, a good one. Southern, a good one. Grambling, a good one. And so as you get deeper into the season, these games become more competitive. I mean, we knew it from the start, but it seems like the last couple of weeks we've had a lot of competitive basketball throughout the conference.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of tough games, a lot of close games. Still trying to put a team out there that could just be dominate and just dominate a team for 40 minutes to suffocate a team. So every game don't have to come down to the last, few minutes. So still trying to find a way to put some product out there this year that will simply just suffocate a team.
Well, let's start with the Southern game, Coach. Again, 74-69. I mean, your team kept battling, Southern kept battling, and it was a game of just the little things. We did a good job on the boards. Just talk about that game and just how that thing just evolved the way it did. You know, we gave them two 4-point plays, but we kept battling. Cornelius hit big shots. Gang Wyatt hit big shots. Benet with a big block. It was big plays made, and then at the end, against the clock, a tough situation where kid hits a shot against the clock, and that was a big shot. So it was a lot of big plays in that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game to where it's though it's a make or miss lead. And the shot that they made at going down to the shot clock was a big shot. He stepped up and made a big shot. But it was back and forth game all game. They'll go up three, we'll go up four, they'll go up five, we'll go up two. It was a back and forth game all, and we expect it to be like that. We expect it to be a tough, gritty, grinding game, and I believe that we're built for the moments. However, we just got some work. We had some work to do to prepare us, moving forward. But we expect, a lot of these teams that we play, we expect to be a gritty type of grinding game, and I think that when it's like that, we're playing our style of basketball.
Was this the toughest? And you keep stressing this every practice how tough these games are going to be. And even last week, leading into Southern, you were really hard on your team on the back line defending. But you look at your team in totality right now, second half of the year coming up. Was this the toughest, the grittiest, the grimiest that your team's been all year, the Southern game?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, we go down to Prairie View and we was pretty solid defensively that game as well too. Um, we was really good defensively against Alabama A&M. Really good defensively against Bethune. Um, but it's just probably people might think it that way just because you're playing against a really another two gritty teams. I mean, team who's undefeated and a team who was made to NCAA tournament. And it's not a situation to where as though we ever going to just step foot in a conference game and don't think we got a great chance of winning.
Yeah, and that definitely was the case. You look at the free throw shooting, Coach. I thought we did a really good job there from the line. But then you've also talked about being smart in these tough games. We gave up two 4-point plays. Unfortunately, Pajot with a technical and a personal that led to 4 free throws. We fouled a kid in the act of shooting a three. Those little things. What are some of the teachable moments coming out of a game like that?
Um, for one, is just, one, keeping your composure. For one, just trying to making sure you understand the heat of the moment of the game, but also closing out the right way, and making sure that you chop your feet early and give the offensive guy space to land. But it's every day is teaching, every day is learning, and we're just going to continue to drive on it and work on it. But it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress to put a good team out there every single day and be competitive and be dominant and just suffocate team.
Yeah, that's what you've been looking for, and we gave it a great effort, 74 to 69, one of the better games. And then two nights later, last night, obviously Grambling. Coach, want to ask you your relationship with Dante Jackson, Coach of Grambling. I saw a video on X. I don't know, it was somebody someone was interviewing you and him, had you and Coach Jackson on split screen. This has been a few months ago, just the relationship between you and him. I mean, you've talked about it, how it's a pretty special relationship between you two. You all were sharing stories, swapping stories. You were laughing, he was laughing, y'all were just yucking it up. Just talk about that relationship. A lot of people might not know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the relationship just grew in a positive direction when, I think the last 2 to 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, we either tied for regular season championship. He was first, I was second. He was second, I was first. And then we just reach out to each other, just congratulate each other on their success, and then you start talking about just life, and you start talking about other things. You start to build a relationship outside of you know basketball. Playing against him, he's one of the guys that I root for that has success. Playing against him, we know it's going to be tough just because he's such a offensive expert. And we just want to do a good job of trying to speed them up, try to take them out their offense and try to, trap all over the place and not let them run their offense because when you let him settle down and you let that team run offense, they're going to pick you apart.
So this Grambling team, obviously not the same team as last year, totally different. What was the challenges facing this Grambling team? What was different about this team compared to last year's team in which they won the whole shebang?
Just a new team. You just never know when the team is going to start to clicking. I mean, I got a lot of confidence in Coach Jackson that at some point he going to get them guys rolling. He going to get them rolling. I mean, he has championship pedigree. He has championship pedigree on that team. At some point they're going to get rolling, but um, you just don't know when. Hopefully, I know that he's hoping that they get rolling sooner than later.
Yeah, second half of the season coming up. 60 to 53, coach. We led by as many as 13, and Grambling a couple of times made it a one possession game. So just overall talk about the game. You talked about how it was back and forth. Nothing really surprised you. I got the impression that you weren't surprised at what we did, and you weren't surprised at the way Grambling was able to fight back.
No, I wasn't. I knew they was gonna fight back. Hopefully, that we sustain a large enough lead to where as though it was too deep for them to get back. But they fought. They fought. It was a low scoring, gritty game. I feel as though we gave up too many live turnover points, gave up too many transition points, and if we clean those up, I think that we could be, could have a better performance, especially on the defensive end. But I think we gave too many live turnover points. You got to do a better job of managing our turnovers again.
He had 19 turnovers in the game yesterday. You look at the top scorers, coach Cornelius off the bench, and Lee Gaines Wyatt with the 10 points. Um, there was a text question, coach, about Amari Hamilton. Talk about his status going forward. I know he was dealing with the plantar fasciitis. He played a couple of games ago, but is he back on the shelf for a little bit, or do you expect him back soon?
I have no idea. I'm gonna meet with him tomorrow to try to figure out what his plan is for the rest of the year. Hopefully, he can get back on the court. Just another big target who can score the ball, that can make a shot for us, which we need. So, I'll speak with him tomorrow to try to see if he's going to be able to, play this weekend or not. Hopefully, he is.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, because he was back and it looked like he was going to be back and played one game and it was just kind of aggravated again. And just talk about how hard he has worked to try to stay focused. I know he wants to get out there, and you talk about the level of focus with players either are down, don't get the time, and just staying with it. It looks like Amari Hamilton is that guy, just wants to get out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy that want to get out there. He's the guy that that can really help us on the offensive end a lot just because of his ability to score the basketball. I mean, at one point he was leading the team in scoring. So, you know, I'll meet with him tomorrow. You know, right now we need another threat out there. But we're just still trying to find ways to, you know, win basketball games with who we got. I mean, it's next man up.
Next man up, next game up here as we get ready for the weekend action. Coach, halfway through the season, we're 5-4. Halfway through the year, halfway through conference already. Just assess where you are with your team halfway through conference.
You know, I think that we are heading in the right direction. Um, you know, I know that we are, you know, when it gets down to it, we can make tough plays. That we can be any game that we play. But I also know that we can lose any league. Also know that we can go on a fest and just have a turnover party. We have a missed rebound party. So we got some areas that we need to clean up if we preparing to make a run in March.
I look at it, Coach. If you look at the standings, the top three teams in the league, we lost to Southern by 5 points. The Texas Southern game. Texas Southern, one of the top teams in the league, and they're playing UAPB right now, the makeup game on Pine Bluff. We lost to them by 6. We lose to Jackson by a possession. FAMU game by a possession. I mean, we're just right there on the precipice. And I think if we another play here, play there, we're going to see some of these teams second go around. Jackson, FAMU, Bethune Cookman. Some of these teams will see a second go around. Texas Southern. We make those plays a second go around. We could really be in a lot better position as far as the standings are concerned.
Yeah, I mean, if we take care of business, which we should, you know, these next few games, it's going to put us in a great position. It's a lot of basketball left to be played. You got 9 games left. Um, you got a really good conference ahead. Um, and you know, you got some teams that you know that you feel as though you let slip away. So hopefully, you know, some of your players have that ammunition going into each game, and you got some teams that you haven't played. So, you know, we got 9 games left to try to put us in the best situation to be have the highest seed as possible in the SWAC tournament. And I think that we are going to do a good job as far as putting ourselves in a good position.
Well, you talked about it last night. It's time to get going. It's time to get hot. It's time to get a winning streak started. Our longest winning streak has been 2 after losing to Jackson. We beat Alabama State and A&M, and it's been kind of lost win, lost win, lost win, lost win from that point. So you really want to stress this is the time to get it going, to get a winning streak going.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think this is the time for us to just to turn that corner. We haven't had really success on you know on Saturday games. You know, we lose the Saturday game to FAMU, to Jackson State, to Texas Southern, to Southern. You know, and then okay, we come back. Okay, let's get out here and play real basketball on Monday. So we just got to find a way to get ourselves rolling this week to have a great Saturday.
Have you been able to put your finger on why we've struggled on Saturdays?
No, but I think it's just a maturity. I think it's a um, an accountability to understand like the heat of the moment and understand like, okay, we have to lock in each and every day. Can't take our foot off the gas.
So let's look, Coach, at what we have coming up. We have UAPB coming in on Saturday. What do you expect from the Golden Lions?
And I expect for them to be really, really tough. A tough team to put out. They play a lot. I expect them to play a lot of zone. You know, they got one of the leading scorers in the league, so you know I'm pretty sure that he's going to be pretty good and hard to stop. But I definitely expect for them to be pretty good and pretty tough.
Bradley Doctor. That's the guy from UAPB, and he just came out of nowhere, Coach. I don't. He didn't play in the early part of non-conference, but man, he has been filling it up. Talk about his game because we got to find a way to slow him down.
You know, he didn't come out of nowhere. He didn't come out of nowhere. I mean, everybody in the SWAC pretty much knew about him. And you know, it was just, you know, who was going to get him to come there, but he did. he didn't come out of nowhere. Maybe he came out of nowhere to the fans, but he didn't come out of nowhere. But I mean, he's a guy that a lot of everybody on SWAC had him on their checklist. They knew what he's capable of doing. It was all about the right fit, getting him who could get him in school, who couldn't get him in school. Just but he's a really, really good athletic basketball player that can do a lot of different things on the court that we expect to. Another, yeah, another meet.
Okay.
We we just expect for him to, come out, be athletic, rebound the ball at a high level, get downhill, and hopefully we can contain him.
Well, Coach, I know you have a meeting again. It's our fault. I apologize for kind of the technical glitches, and we'll definitely get back next Tuesday with a full show, and we'll be able to break down Valley and Pine Bluff before we go to Florida. Two big Florida games coming up with Bethune-Cookman near the top of the league. FAMU was one of the hottest teams in the league until Alabama State knocked them off in Tallahassee last night. So a lot to unpack next week. We appreciate it, Coach, on such short notice.
All right, thank you.
That's Braves head coach Landon Bussie again. Apologize again. Technical good just happens from time to time. So we'll get everything fixed and ready to go. Don't forget tomorrow we've got the signing party at 5:30 tomorrow. We'll talk with AD Dwayne Robinson. We'll talk with coaches. Cedric Thomas said he'll be ready to go. Coaches will be ready to go. Fans will be ready to go. I'll be ready to go. Cedric Tillman, Jamario Brooks, the whole gang from the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame tomorrow at 5:30. We'll talk to you then. So long, everybody.